has us rethinking a lot of things, whether it's where we want to work, where we want to live, but most importantly, what we want to eat. I'm almost certain that people rethought how they were eating and thinking about converting over to plant-based living because I couldn't find chickpeas anywhere in the beginning. Matter of fact, there has been a surge in people wanting to grow their own fresh vegetables in their homes. History shows that during uncertain times, people grow vegetables. So what are some tips in order to have fresh vegetables in the comfort of your own home? Number one, you need to get a container that has drainage. Number two, you need quality potting soil that has vermiculite in it. And number three, supplemental lighting, because if you don't have natural light, your plants won't grow. FYI, you can grow microgreens, you can grow radishes, you can grow tomatoes, and scallions. The more you know, the more you grow. I'm Angela Yvonne, and this is Vegan Pop Eats. Oh my God, they have healing crystal waist beads. I wonder if anyone's in here. Oh, hey. I'm so glad you guys are here. This space right here in Dumbo, Brooklyn is dope. But I have to tell y'all about my new obsession. My new obsession is microgreens. I've been having them on my avocado toast, my soups, my salads, and what other space would I go to than New York County Farms here at 145 Front Street in Dumbo, Brooklyn. They specialize in microgreens, so I might as well, come to the source and learn the ABCs of microgreens. Follow me. We are here at New York County Farms with Ron, the head farmer, and we are going to learn about microgreens. Ron, thank you so much for letting Vegan Pop Eats come in here.
Thanks for stopping by.
I'm so excited to learn about this because, I love anything green, anything fresh, and when you can learn more about living plant-based, that's what I'm here for.
Right on.
So, how did you get started in this? Because this is amazing.
Well, thank you. Basically, Angela, I only heard about microgreens during the pandemic. I was working from home like a lot of other people, but I knew that I wanted to come out of the pandemic with just change some kind of way for the better, and health and fitness has always been a big part of my life. I've always been involved in the sports, and I used to be a trainer, and I was kind of like a fit actor. That was kind of like my thing when I first moved to New York. And so I just started researching the web of different, activities and different kind of like business models that people were getting into, and I stumbled upon microgreens. I'm like, I think I might be able to try that. So that was August of 2020, and I moved into this space here in Dumbo, January 2021 this year. And it's been going good since then. Still growing, still got some ways to go, but I'm excited about it. So yeah.
So next time we see you, you're gonna have the whole building.
I hope to have at least one other room besides what you see here.
Well, this isn't bad, honestly. I love the closeness of it. But what made you specifically hone in on microgreens? Because I just learned that there's a different, like whenever I would see them in the grocery store, I would think that they were the same thing as Sprouts.
Yeah.
So what are the differences and why particularly microgreens?
Sure. Well, I chose microgreens because first of all, it's a relatively low startup investment to get into. If microgreens is something that you want to actually just grow for your own use at home, or if it's something that you might want to consider as your own business, there's not a lot of startup cost. So that made it very attractive to me because I didn't want to I thought about coding and everything, and it's like a big investment in terms of time and energy, and you have to quit your job to do that. Not so with microgreens. Microgreens, you can actually just relatively get a few pieces of equipment, watch some videos. You ain't got to go to school, nothing like that, and just do your research. And with a very relatively low investment, you can actually get up and going. As far as the difference between sprouts, I actually, most people are familiar with like alfalfa sprouts, right? You go to a grocery store like any bodega, you'll see those tightly packed alfalfa sprouts that most people put on their sandwiches or whatnot. The difference between sprouts and microgreens, the main difference for most people is that sprouts actually don't require soil. There's actually like the earliest stages of the plant growth. And there's not really hardly any leaves at all in a sprout. It's just primarily the seed and the actual forming root. That's usually the start where the germination begins. Microgreens are actually the later version of that plant development, where you actually start seeing the first leaves appear, which are the cotyledons. And actually, microgreens also require a medium. Doesn't have to be soil, but you have to have some sort of grow medium, whether it's coconut coir, what I use, or some sort of soil, or even something like this, which is what we use. This is kind of a jute fiber, which we use for the wheatgrass.
Okay.
And so, so basically, microgreens are one of the earliest versions of a plant. Every seed has all the nutrients and vitamins that it's ever going to have. What makes microgreens unique is that it's packed. It's so concentrated with all the nutrients and vitamins that the plant's ever going to have. When a plant matures, which what we see in most grocery aisles, right? All those nutrients and vitamins are dispersed throughout that plant. So you'll need like a whole bag full of them to get the same nutrients that you could get from like eating like a handful of microgreens.
Oh, wow.
And they're very beautiful, and you can put them on pretty much breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The flavor is more or less the same as the mature vegetable, but the texture is so nice. It's crunchy, and it's just it makes a nice contrast with whatever else is on your plate or on your spoon.
Well, I'm excited because you're going to teach me how to grow some microgreens.
That's right.
Y'all gonna have to talk to me differently because I'm learning all these different skills, and when you don't see me anymore, just know that I have land somewhere growing microgreens with my own perfume and, just my phone. Okay, let's go. Ron is about to show me the process for making the microgreens. So what do we have right here?
So obviously everything starts with seeding, right?
Right.
I mean, you've all heard this saying, you reap what you sow, right?
Yes.
So now we're sowing. So what we have here is we have some trays. We have two trays. One is a mesh tray, as you can see, it's got all the holes in it. And the other tray is a solid tray that goes underneath it. Mm-hmm. And on top of the mesh tray, we have our medium that we're going to use. And we have our medium that I use in this space is coconut coir, which is the outside husk of a coconut. Coir spelled C-O-I-R. And basically, it's the medium that I like to use because, first of all, it's the easiest to get.
Okay.
You can get it on Amazon, eBay. It's very, very cheap. You can get a big, huge block for like under 20 bucks. Not a problem at all. You'll get it in 3 days. The other reason why I like coconut coir is that if you use soil, right, and you happen to use a soil that you actually like a lot for your particular microgreens, it's a really good chance that soil might not be there the next time you want to use it. Yes,
okay.
certain kinds of soil are very, very hard to get, especially in a city like New York City where not a lot of farmers,
Right.
for specialized things like this. My coconut coir is very neutral, so it pretty much goes with almost any kind of microgreens that you want to grow, and it doesn't have any nutrients within the soil. So usually we add our own special nutrients that we like as during the watering process. So it allows you to kind of specialize your medium to kind of like what you like in terms of like the.
So did you have a lot of trial and error as far as the soils and things of that
Yeah,
nature?
there was tons of that. I remember off camera we were talking about perlite and vermiculite.
Yeah.
And I used that the very first time I grew, and did not turn out very well. First of all, a lot of greens don't really need it. That's when you have a problem with like maybe drainage or like collecting too much water. Sometimes you need the perlite or the vermiculite to kind of like absorb some of that water. I find that the coconut coir is perfect, and as long as you don't overwater, that's the most important thing. You'll be perfectly fine with using this medium.
Okay, well, I'm ready.
Okay.
So I can just spread this all the way out?
Yeah. So you want to spread it out, get it nice and even.
Even?
Absolutely.
Look at me, Farmer Angela.
Yeah, you are a farmer. How's that feel? I mean, I don't know.
I love
For me, it feels therapeutic. So
Yeah, I can totally understand why this would be therapeutic.
Yeah.
And you just make sure that everything is even?
Yeah, try to get everything even. Every once in a while, you'll see some fibers that are like maybe kind of stuck together.
Right.
And that's fine. The plants will bust through that. What I try to do is make sure that everything is even with the top layer of the walls there.
Do you have to have like, is there like an inch or something you want, or it can come all the way up to the top?
It can come all the way to the top. I usually, for this particular, this is about 1.5 inches. Maybe it's actually only an inch tall. I usually put about 4 regular scoops, or 3 heaping scoops. And I can show you what the actual scoop looks like later. But basically, the main thing is that however big your scoop is that you use, you just want to get it so that it's nice and dense. It comes up to the very top, and that it's even. That's the most important thing. So like any mounds, any divots, you want to make sure that you smooth those over. So like they say in golf, replace your divots.
So what are the depths of the trays that can you use? Can you use something deeper than this, or does it have to be like this?
You can use anything. I mean, I also have trays like this. This is actually when I first started. These are about 2 inches.
Oh.
And the reason why I stopped using the 2-inch trays as my primary is because when you're farming, a lot of times when you're farming and you're farming commercially, you want to farm for weight. So it allows you to actually get much closer to the very bottom of the microgreens to be able to get more weight. So that when you're using a taller tray, it's harder to get to the very bottom of the stem. So you want to get as much as you possibly can. So the next step is you want to take a board. So I have a board that's, if you can imagine, is cut almost to the size of this particular tray.
Okay.
And what you want to do is you want to press down so that all that soil that you just laid out, it's nice and dense. And the reason why you do this is because when those seeds are applied, they have something to anchor onto, so that when they start germinating, the roots have something to grab onto.
And what is germinating? Germinating is the growth, right?
Yeah. So what you'll see is every time the seed starts going through the first phase of that seed becoming a plant is you'll see a little white thing sticking out.
Okay.
That's actually the root, and then that's the germination process.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that pretty? So then that root will go into the medium.
Okay.
And that's when the germination process starts. That means that like, yes, it's accepting what you're doing. It's like, okay, time for me to wake up. I got some medium around me. I got some water. time to wake up and become a plant. I need to grow up. So that's what's happening right there.
So has there ever been a time where you had where you didn't, can you tell if you didn't?
Where I got bad germination?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get some bad germinations as a new grower. It's bound to happen. No one starts off perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times what happens is it could actually not even be your fault. Sometimes your seed supplier will sometimes send you seeds that aren't really that good.
Oh.
That happens once in a while.
And you can't know until they're growing.
You won't know it until your germination starts looking all crazy. And then usually what you can do is you can call them up, say, hey, listen, I got seeds from this lot or whatever, give them the lot number, and they'll replace it more likely than not. Or they'll give you like a credit or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, other times when germination goes bad is when a few reasons. Either you didn't use the right kind of water. So a very important part of growing is to make sure that you don't use tap water. You always have to use filtered water.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to use water with a pH between 5.5 and 6, preferably 6.
So we're about to get the seeds.
All right. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to grow some radish.
Yes.
Yes, and I
love radish.
Radish are actually, I didn't even realize, but radish is very spicy. I usually eat them in tacos, but on microgreens phase, it's very spicy, but not too spicy. But yeah, it's definitely aromatic. We're going to be growing China Rose variety, and these are from True Leaf Market. I get all my seeds from True Leaf Market. That's my online supplier. And the reason why I'm growing radish is because my customer down the hallway, Be Public, loves radish, and they buy it from me all the time.
Yes.
So,
so I know that you can also, many of us do not have greenhouses, but I know that you can grow different seeds and things at home. Like,
correct.
what are some of the tools we may need if we wanted to attempt
right.
to do this?
No, very important.
Because this seems so therapeutic that I feel like it's almost like planting, regular plants at home.
Well, one of the things I would definitely, you see right next to you those, well, actually, I'll even show this right here, right? This is just a regular takeout container, right? You don't even need to start off with getting anything like this. Just get a takeout container. And if you want, you can have two, and then you can just take a scissor and poke holes, or like something stronger, and poke holes in the bottom of one of them. That way you get the same effect as this.
Wow. Okay.
So I would say get a good supplier of seeds that you like. I like True Leaf Market. I think they're very reliable, and they stand behind their work too. Just so you know, right now we're weighing out about 40 grams. Well, actually 50 grams. We'll say 50.
Okay.
And and this is including excluding the weight of the container. We just zeroed that out before we put the seeds in. Okay. And so what you're going to do, yes, is you're going to take the seeds, right, and you're going to just sprinkle them nice and evenly, just nice and evenly throughout the whole top of this nice medium that we have. Right?
Okay. If you can. And just cover it like I covered the dirt. I mean the coconut core.
Yes.
Coconut core.
Yes, coconut core hates it when you call it dirt. So yeah, just get it nice and even.
Oh, this is therapeutic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can understand protecting your peace.
Yeah. It's and what's I think one of the most interesting things is finding out like what these actual plants that we all love and know what they start off at, and this is going to be a radish.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you see that they look like little pebbles, but they're
I've never seen a radish seed before.
Yeah, they look like little pebbles. They're kind of like a pinkish beige.
Yeah.
Something like that. And you want to get all those out.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, the whole thing's going on there. Yep.
Right.
I grew this food.
I can grow and cook. Look at God.
Yeah, it's looking really good, actually.
Right.
That's perfect. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll take this out of the way. And then, so the next step is we need to water this.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'll let you do that.
Again, remember, it's got to be 6.0, or preferably 6.0, or at least 5.5 pH. And so much so that I wrote it on here so I never forget. So this you can actually get on Amazon, but you don't need to use this.
That's like the bug, the Terminator.
You can use it for your plants for weeding if you need to.
Oh wow!
But we use it for filtered water. So you just want to basically what I like to do is I just go all around here. I usually make maybe the first time I'll make 2 runs around.
And is all that's in there, is it just filtered water, or do you have
just filtered water?
Okay.
Yeah, so this is literally tap water that went through here.
Okay.
So basically this went into here. And once we have that,
wow.
What we do, so after this process, there's actually really one step left before we can put it on the shelf.
Okay.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna get an empty shelf, rather an empty tray, like this, right? We're gonna put it on top, right? And then basically we're just gonna get like a weight. Now what I use from my lab is we use a 15-pound paving stone. You can get this at Lowe's.
But would I use this at home if I?
You don't have to go out and buy one of these,
Okay.
especially if you're gonna use like this, right? So you don't need that, it's not gonna fit. So what you could do for something like that is maybe just get like a can of beans or some chili, just basically
Just something that just has some weight on it.
any canned good out of your cabinet will be fine.
Okay.
And just but just put something, put a cover over that. So you'll need, I guess for the purpose that we're talking about for home, you would eventually need like three of these things, right?
Right.
So you would have one that has that's solid, one that has holes in it, and then another one that's solid, and then you put the cans on top of that. And then what you want to do after that is you want to put this on a shelf or anything out of the way. And then the reason why we put a weight on there is so those seeds can get really pushed down into that medium, which really encourages those roots to really take hold and form a nice foundation. And that's the same reason why we also pack down that medium as well. And usually we keep that on there for 3 days. However, each day I like to water just a little bit, once in the morning and once in the evening. It doesn't need a big amount of water, just like a little spritz,
Just keeping the
soil moist.
Wet.
That's that,
Okay.
keeping it moist. One thing just to watch out for topping off. Throughout the whole growing process, watch out for topping off. So if you see water pooling on top of the top soil layer or medium layer, just it doesn't need any more watering. So if you check one day and like, oh, I was supposed to water it twice a day, that's what he said. No, you gotta it's
gauge it.
Yeah, you gotta gauge it. So we're not machines, so we're artists, so we have to look at the conditions of the plant and see like, okay, so what does it need? So if it's pooled, that means it doesn't need any more water.
So say for instance that you've already watered it, this is the beginning, and when you go to look at it tomorrow and the water is still there, is that telling you something about the coconut coir, or is it just saying that it's not drinking it as fast as it should?
Well, usually, no, that's not that's not really a huge concern. That's not a huge deal. If there's too much water, usually what that meant is that I probably put too much water when I first watered it, and I probably don't need to water it that much anymore until I take the weight off.
Okay.
Which is after. Usually, you take the weight off once you start seeing the roots showing under the mesh tray. So usually after about 3 days, you'll see the little whites of the roots showing up, and then you'll see them actually showing up underneath the actual mesh tray. And that's when you know that you can take the weight off, and that you can the next phase put them in blackout.
Yes, indeed. I'm just so excited. When you see me growing something, mind your business. Mind your business. But you have some things that you're going to show us, so I'm excited to see more.
Yeah, for sure.
So we are here in front of your babies. So what are all of these?
Okay, so today we've got some onion right here.
Okay.
This is dill. They actually use this to make, yes, they actually use this to make dill pickles.
Oh, wow.
And we got basil, and this is, of course, wheatgrass.
So tell me a little bit about this, because I know that microgreens has a lot of nutrients.
Yeah.
What would, if I came here and I said, oh, I want the onion microgreens, what would I use that for? Because I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, basically onion microgreens can go on whatever you like onions on, basically.
Oh, so it tastes like onion?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay.
It tastes like onions, yeah. The little black things you see there, those are actually seed hulls, but those are actually edible though. Most seed hulls that stay on microgreens usually fall off. And if they don't, you definitely don't want to eat them because sometimes they're just too hard. Mm-hmm. These seed hulls are actually edible. They're actually kind of crunchy, so they don't do anything. But what I usually use the onion microgreens on is like wraps, and just as a general rule, most microgreens can be used to substitute for like lettuce, like leafy vegetables.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
so like if you have a wrap that you usually use like lettuce or arugula, you can actually use the microgreen version of arugula or just anything else, any other kind of microgreen.
I just got into arugula. That's like my favorite.
It's awesome, isn't it?
And we have basil. Everyone knows about a little bit of basil.
Great for pastas and soups.
And what kind of nutrients can that people can get from this? Because like the
potassium, zinc. Vitamins A, B, C, D, E.
And can you blend these all up just like if I was to make a smoothie or whatever?
Or you could. These three are herbs.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would use it herbs in a smoothie, but definitely wheatgrass you could. It just so happened that today I have 3 herbs. We actually grow a total of 4 herbs. You don't see cilantro here, but yeah, those are the 4 herbs that we grow.
So are those the most popular? The ones like basil, dill, onion, and what are the other popular ones that people ask you for?
Well, so yeah, people love the basil and the dill. There's a restaurant in Gramercy that absolutely loves it's like a brunch spot. They love the basil and dill. But basically, popular microgreens are sunflowers, peas, red cabbage,
you grow
broccoli.
That in here?
Oh yeah, broccoli, kale, arugula.
Oh.
Yeah, we grow nasturtium. We have about 20 to 25 varieties right now, and always counting. So basically, the goal that I have is to constantly be growing in terms of like my repertoire of microgreens that I know how to do and that I can grow well and reliably. Most of the greens that we grow in this space can be grown and harvested within 30 days.
Okay.
Actually, the basil right here actually takes about the longest. It takes about the full 30 days. Mm-hmm. Most of the greens that I grow can be harvested within 7 days actually.
So are these all seasonal? So like right now it's summertime, so you would do the onion, the basil, and the dill. So when it gets wintertime, would you still be able to grow it even though it's in a greenhouse?
Oh yeah, see that's the advantage of being an indoor farmer. Okay. You don't have to worry about
the season.
About growing them outside and have to worry about cold or rain or anything like that. You can control the environment in here, and I think one thing you were mentioning off camera is like what's the best temperature, right?
Right.
The best temperature, and this is the reason why this space is so good for me. The best temperatures that microgreens grow in is like low 70s.
Okay.
But I've grown them as low as like upper 50s.
Oh wow.
It's not ideal, but they really like 70s. Another great big thing you also got to consider is the humidity. So my humidity in here is about 50%, but there was a time, like a few weeks ago where it got up to like maybe 80%. Yeah, they didn't like that much. At least a couple of them didn't. So you got to watch that a little bit. But ideally 50% humidity, no more than that. Around 70 degrees, that's actually perfect for microgreens. Yeah, for them to thrive.
Well, I'm just so excited that I learned so much from you. This is amazing. So where can people get your microgreens? Can they just pop up?
Well, first of all, we have a website. It's NewYorkCountyFarms.com. We offer a box delivery service, so you can order like a single week if you're just interested in getting to know us. We also offer 10 weeks, and if you're really down for us, like you've been, you definitely dig us. We also offer 36 weeks, and we also do lots of promos around the city. So if you're a business or you just want some samples and maybe for your job or your coworkers, just let us know. We'll be happy to stop by and bring some free samples for you guys. Just let us know. Let us know, and so we can commiserate and let you know who we are and what we do.
Yes, indeed. So is it like a menu on the website where you can say, well, you know what, I would like some basil, I would like some onion, and could you do a little grass? Well, or is it just this is what we got? Order it.
Well, so great question. Great question. So for chefs, what we do is at restaurants, we provide them with a fresh sheet, which is with all of the varieties that we grow. However, because we have gotten so many questions like that from just regular customers who aren't chefs, we are going to be putting on our website all the varieties that we grow. With the stipulation that it's obvious, subject to availability with our seed suppliers. So, but yeah, usually. Right now we've got about 25 varieties, and hopefully we'll be getting up to even more.
Yes.
Watch us grow.
Well, thank you so much, Ron. I really appreciate you being on VeganPopEats.
Thank you, Angela.
Don't tell me that I don't teach y'all nothing. So I am super excited because I'm about to harvest some microgreens.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I always say when I do something new? Talk to me differently, because your favorite doesn't do this. Okay, so what do we need to do?
Okay, so as you see, I've asked you to get your mask on, because when we harvest, when we cut, we like to mask up.
Okay, and why is this?
Just to make sure that when we don't get any fluids from our mouth when we're talking anywhere near the crops where we're going to be harvesting. Okay. And so also take some gloves just
my favorite
for being sanitary. You can keep those if you want, I guess.
Ron is like, girl.
If you want those, you can have them.
It's not a big deal.
My gift from me to you. And so, so one, we have I think I mentioned to you earlier, we have a couple of partial harvest trays that we've got. We've got onion and dill. Which one would you like to harvest from?
I'm kind of feeling fancy. I guess I can do the dill.
The dill. You got it. All right. So this is your tool.
Yes.
Take that. Hold on.
Is it sharp?
It is sharp, so be careful. Okay. It's not super sharp. It's super sharp though. So we're gonna come over here to the table.
All right.
And like I said, as I said earlier, this is already partially harvested, but there's still plenty more to go.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So.
It's so pretty.
And this is the container that we're going to be using. Yeah, this is what the bottom looks like.
So when you cut it, it'll just keep regrowing. Or is it just done?
Actually, most of the microgreens don't do that. The wheatgrass does, but typically microgreens don't. So what you want to do is you want to just grab onto a. Are you right-handed?
Yeah, I'm right-handed.
Okay. Maybe we'll switch.
No,
spaces.
I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So take your left and then grab onto the top here. Yeah. And you see this is the bottom, right?
Right there.
So you want to get a nice little cut right at the root, but don't get any of the medium. So kind of cut up.
Like this.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Kind of cut up. Yeah. You like that?
I'm so excited.
Oh. Okay. So
I got some of your.
So when that happens, you just cut that little. Yeah. Exactly.
That.
And you put that right in here.
Yes.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
How beautiful that is, huh?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well,
put a little bit more.
While I'm
You're doing the thing.
Farming. This was an amazing lesson. Now, don't forget, microgreens have a lot of nutrients in it. So, get your microgreens. And you need to get them from New York County Farms. Hit up Ron so you can have the best of the best. And remember, if you can't be good to anybody else, be good to yourself. I'm Angela Yvonne. This is VeganPopEats, where meat is always obsolete. Now I'm about to finish my farming.
Very nice. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, this is so dope.
So smooth.
I know you just peaceful in here.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic.
Yes. Vegetables in the comfort of your own home. Number one, you need to get a container that has drains.
Very, very cheap. You can get a big, huge block for like under 20 bucks. Not a problem.